WWE was in town and No Camp Dad took No Camp Son to see it. And with that got me thinking, we need to do a wrestling game video on the channel. But not all your new things. I thought I'd try something a bit different and go a bit retro. So when I was young, one of the most addictive games ever in the arcade was a WWF, as it was then, game Wrestlefest. Now, if you're old enough to remember this, it was all the legends: Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Mr. Perfect, Sergeant Slaughter, those kind of characters. And this was in the arcades where you had to pay per go, when arcades were a big deal back then. And it never really got ported over to any console without a conversion kit that worked that well, or you never saw it. There was different iterations of it, but it was never the same. Well, today I'm going to show you how you can play this game for free online and have unlimited lives. So it's great fun. And it's your old button bashing kind of classic games that were just great fun. So even if you're not from that generation, you don't remember this, give it a try, because it's just a great game. And there's been lots of, obviously it's not on the WWE 2K level, but for an addictive little hour play, it's great. It's got 2 game modes, Royal Rumble and Saturday Night Main Event. But I'm going to take you through them now. We're going to do a Royal Rumble gameplay, and then we're going to show you just how to get the game and how to play it. So let's go. By the way, before we go, if there's any weird noises coming through on the mic, it's because No Camp Dog is in town today, aren't you? And he's old, so he's just resting on me. So if you can hear weird noises, that's him. But anyway, let's get into the video. All right, let's go. You got 2 game modes. You got Royal Rumble and Saturday Night Main Event. I'm going to go with the Royal Rumble option. You think I'm going to pick one of the big guns, Hulkster, Ultimate Warrior, but I was always more of a mid-card heel kind of fan, so I'm going with Mr. Perfect because the guy was awesome. And this game was insanely up to date for the time and ahead of its time almost. The crowd, as you can see, were way above what most games after that came for years. A lot of effort put into that. Gameplay smooth, cartoonish sprites. And you start off in the Royal Rumble. It is a bit weird because the Royal Rumble, you could pin people in it, which obviously you can't do in real life Royal Rumbles. You have to throw them over the top rope. But in this one, you can throw them over the top rope, or you can pin them, which was just a nice option. Every wrestler had their actual finishing moves in it. So Hulkster, leg drop, Warrior, the big press with the splash, and Mr. Perfect had the perfect plex. By the way, how good was the perfect plex? That guy should have been a world champ, no doubt. Kurt Hennig, R.A.P. sir. But yeah, it was just awesome for its time. And very, very playable. They all had the real taunts and stuff like that. So a lot of effort went into making this game at the time. And you had to pay for it. Back then, what was it? In the UK, it would have been £1 to go. Or 50p. There's Jake with a DDT. Awesome. I'm just making my way around the ring at the moment, trying to conserve energy. Now, the beauty of this, so this is how you do it. I'm playing on an Xbox and a controller once I've changed the controller settings, but I'll show you in a minute. As taking one of the demolition for a ride there. Jake's up next. Drop kick to Jake. Let's get out of trouble, get a rest. Straight back on someone else. There's the perfect plex. Nobody should have kicked out of that. That move should have been protected to all hell. Double pin, as you can see there. No way out of the double pin. They get eliminated and someone else comes in. As long as the Hulkster don't come in and clear ring. Anyway, yeah, they all had their own finishing moves, and the effort in the game at the time was unreal. It was sensational for its time. The little ring entrances, see them coming up the ramp, the little thoughts like that hadn't been seen in games before too often to this detail, and they weren't for years after, to be honest, either. So we're clearing ring as Earthquake makes his way in. He was good for about 2 years, weren't he? Then he just fell off. Became a jobber. Who are we going to go with? It's Earthquake's coming straight for Mr. Perfect. You don't want this. You don't want this heat, Quake. You don't want it. Drop kick to him. So yeah, it was just it was amazing. Now, because this is an arcade game and you're basically playing a port of it online and kind of streaming it in effect, really. So the select button on this is kind of your credits putting in. So you can just press select whenever you want, and it's the equivalent to putting in whatever your currency was. So for us, it would have been 50p or a pound, and your life will go straight back up. Arcade games back then were designed to, most of them, put more money in, get your energy back up mid-game, because obviously they wanted you to continue playing, or give you the countdown afterwards like you used to get on Street Fighter. But on this one, things like Golden Axe, you remember that? You could get midlife energy. So if I just press select, you will see my energy just go up. There you go. I've just done it as I drop kick Ted DiBiase. But that's it. You press select, your health goes back up, is the equivalent to putting in another credit. So it's even great fun because it's like just playing it, you know, as much as you want. So I've spun it on a bit. We're down to the last 3. One of the demolition. He gets perfect plex, but kicks out. Earthquake, Mr. Perfect, and I think that's Axe, or is it Smash? Not sure. As we get taken for a slam. Double pin. Nobody's kicking out the double pin. Now down to me, and either Axe or Smash. Get him in a perfect plex in the centre of the ring. That would be a beautiful way to finish it. What? Nobody should kick out a perfect plex. Give me a break. Let's try again. One more perfect plex. He kicks out again. He's kicking out these perfect plexes. Suplex, if that pins him. Come on, game. And it's over. We've won the Royal Rumble. Get a little announcement, get a little ending. It's great. Easy. Anybody can play this game. You know, youngsters out there, you can play this game. It's very easy to play. And you get your nice little ending. I never saw this in the arcade. I didn't have that much money to put in it like this. But anyway, there's your countdown. Great game. Give it a try. And the other mode on this game is Saturday Night's Main Event, which is essentially a tag team tournament to get to the champions Legion of Doom, LOD, and unlock them because you couldn't pick them from the start of the game. It's 4 or 5 tag team matches. One of those will be a cage match, and the level of difficulty will increase as you go through the matches. I'm not going to do gameplay for that. You can probably see some of the highlights on your screen. I picked a mega strong team to get to Legion of Doom of Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. Make your way through these matches and then essentially beat Legion of Doom and you've completed it. Now the weird thing is, the frustrating thing is, you get the ending to the game after you beat Legion of Doom and then it just resets and starts again. I assume that would have been because the creators thought, well, they haven't lost and they've stuck money into an arcade as it back was then. It would have been 1991 when it was released. We can't have them just turn the game off so they can just start again and keep going. I've done it a couple of times and I guess it must be infinite. I don't know if it does stop, but essentially it just loops round and you keep going around to Legion of Doom even though you've won the titles, which is a bit weird. But anyway, this is a classic retro game. Give it a try. In fact, you can find loads of games in this site. I'll pick out some classics now and then. If this video goes well and you like these kind of retro games, give me a shout and I will do more. Obviously, from my era, there's loads of golden generation games along these lines, which are now easy and free to play. But for this video, that kind of wraps it up. WWF Wrestlefest, as it was then, it's obviously now WWE. Give this a blast. It'll probably work on your phone. This will work on anything. Give it a try. Absolutely amazing game. So finally, how do you get this game? Wow, you go to retrogames.cc through your internet browser, and this will work on any browser. It will probably work on your phone. It doesn't use that much data to stream this game. However, if you're not in a 4G area, it might not work well. But I'm playing this through Xbox, through Edge, which, come on, who uses Edge? Probably no one, Nat never. So give it a try. Go to retrogames.cc. And on their homepage, you'll see a search bar down the right hand side. Go to this. I mean, you can type in anything, but for this instance, in this video, type in Wrestlefest. And then once you've searched it and submit, it will give you a number of options. And it's basically the ports of where they were from, or the versions. So from this, you've got 4 or 5. There's a Japanese version, a Korean version, and then a US version. I just click on the US bootleg version. The game will start up. Then you go down a bit and you'll see a button below says play now. That is not an advert. Click play now. Once you've clicked that, In the center of that little box, you'll see 2 adverts which you can hit with a cross. That's all you've got to do, and they will not pop up again, which is amazing. Close one of them, wait for the other one to come up, close that one, then your game's on. You should be in a mouse setting on your controller. I have a keyboard and mouse attached to my Xbox, so it's a bit easier for me, but your controller will be in mouse mode. Go to the bottom right hand corner of that square and click full screen, and obviously the game will be full screen. Then you need to switch to your controller options. This is for you controller players out there who might be trying it through this version. If you're on a keyboard and mouse, you won't really need to do this. But essentially you drop out, just go to the very bottom of your screen with where your mouse click would be, as you can probably see on the screen here. And I click start. Once you click start, you'll see a menu pop up. And that menu, one of those will be use game controls. Hover up to that, click A or any of your buttons, and it will switch to your controller. Then once you're in controller, it's quite simply, and I am going with Xbox settings, I dare say PlayStation will be similar or the same. You basically press Y and B as your 2 action buttons in the game. The select button, this one, for me, that's your credits. So just slam that on the menu. You'll see the credits ticking up. Just stick in 40 credits or whatever you want, you know. Make it basically infinite live, so it's great fun. Then start it off. Choose your game mode, choose your characters, and give it a blast. Absolutely awesome game. And you know, this route in is, once you're in the flow of it and you've done it a few times, it's way easier than you think. And what I tend to do is save some classic games kind of like on tabs, on pages in my Microsoft Edge overall window. So I'll have 4 or 5 classic retro games that if I want to play every so on, or I want the kids to have a go of them, I will simply come in, click on that, and it works. You just refresh it and it goes, same process, and once you're in the game, you're in. There will be no more adverts. Absolutely tremendous website, give it a try. I'm not affiliated with them, I don't get paid for this or nothing, it's just something I stumbled across. So feel free to give it a try. Try out Wrestlefest. It's quite simply one of the most addictive wrestling games ever. Once you've done it, you've kind of done it and completed it. You know, it's not going to be a long-term thing, but for a little gaming session and some retro nostalgia, then this is the one. Anyway, that's today's video. Take it easy, everyone. See you later. Bye-bye.